please give it up for Mr. Patrick Ward, everybody.
How's everybody doing? Oh my God, you're too close. Better be good. I hope I don't suck. All right. How are we doing, guys? I've been working in this neighborhood for the last 19 years in the New York City Police Department, Midtown North Precinct. And you see a lot of famous people here in Midtown Manhattan. In fact, a lot of my co-workers think that I'm famous. Does anybody here watch The Simpsons? Apparently, my compassionate and understanding co-workers believe that I look like Homer J. Simpson. Because every time my name is mentioned at roll call, about 15 guys go, do, 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 do. You know, and I was stupid. I made the mistake of saying, hey, I don't like that. You know, so they said, well, let me help you. They decided to make an ID card with the department logo, my last name, my first name, my shield number, and instead of my face, they put a picture of Homer Simpson on it. Thanks so much. And in case I lost it, to help me, they made about 5,000 freaking copies of it and wallpapered Midtown Manhattan with it. So I said, all right, I have a plan. Let me see, maybe I'll change my appearance so they'll stop. So I grew a mustache, you know, for the ladies, you know. Looked like a 1970s porn star in my dreams. In my dreams, I did. So I said to my friend Mike, do I look like Tom Selleck? He said, no, moron, you look like Homer Simpson with a friggin' mustache. You know, so moving right along. A couple of months ago, I worked the Halloween parade in Greenwich Village, and I don't know if anybody's experienced that. See a lot of good-looking women, a lot of gay men that are in better shape than me, obviously, and a lot of transvestites, you know. So my friends tried to warn me the first time I went to the Halloween parade. They said, listen, you know, you gotta watch out for those big hands. You gotta watch out for that Adam's apple. I always thought it was the big penis in the dress that was a dead giveaway for transvestite. You know, that's just me, you know. So, at any rate, anybody keep up with current events here in New York? You know, we have a mayoral race going on, and apparently Anthony Weiner, who was a former congressman that had a little trouble a couple of years ago with his wiener. You know? He was waving it online, you know, and well, apparently he's popped up again here in the race. You know, he's offering his opponents some stiff competition after having blown a whole load of cash in his campaign, you know. And there he is, you know, he's got a campaign button, says, stick it out, don't be afraid to get it cut off, that's all I'm saying. He's got a campaign promise, he says he's going to bring back the peep shows and star in them on 42nd Street, bye-bye Disney, you know. And apparently, you know, he's ahead in the polls just by the tip, just the tip. That's all, you know. Sorry, Mom, it's a little dirty, I apologize. At any rate, Christine Quinn's having a problem with the polls. She doesn't know what to do with the polls. I don't know what that's all about. All right, I'll leave it alone. You think I'm being too hard on the wiener? I didn't come here to talk about that anyway. All right. Well, I grew up in East Meadow, Long Island, in the suburbs. Yeah, I hear you. And, you know, ever watch the old shows like The Brady Bunch and My Three Sons? You know, you had the suburban dad, Mike Brady and Stephen Douglas, and the son would mess up and be like, well, son, you know, you messed up enough, and that's punishment enough. Yeah, that shit didn't fly with my old man. He used to say, okay, go, son, okay, yeah, that's good reason. Go get that belt that nobody wears. You know, and it was like 2 inches thick. No, somebody wore it. My ass wore it, you know? Yeah, it was good. My father, when I used to tell him that, you know, I used to try and get him to feel sorry for me. When I was like 8, he would make me do sit-ups with barbells, you know? And, you know, I tried to make him feel sorry for me. So he would explain to me that sympathy was in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. You know? Yeah. And back in the day when I had hair in the the 70s and the 80s, you know, before the turn of the century, my father would look at me and goes, oh, you look at your hair, it's so long. I can't tell whether you're a boy or a girl, you know? So he'd take me to this barber on Newbridge Road in East Meadow, and I think the guy was like, I don't know, he might have been a marathon man. He might have been like the inspiration from Laurence Olivier. I think he was like a Nazi war criminal. And I'm in the chair screaming as my father's supervising my haircut. You know, screaming in terror. At any rate, I was on the Long Island Railroad a while ago. I was trying to meet a good-looking woman I was talking to on the train. And I said, what do you do for a living? And she said, well, I'm a phonologist. I said, really? Well, what is that? She says, well, it studies, you know, the male organ. I said, well, tell me something I wouldn't ordinarily know about the male organ. She says, well, if you didn't know, the Native American, the American Indian, has the biggest, thickest penis out of everybody. I said, wow, that's fascinating. I said, what about the Irish? And she says, well, the Irish, you know, they have a little cocktail drink, you know. So she asked me my name, and I said, Geronimo O'Hara. So the other day I was at Barnes & Noble in Manhattan, and I saw Christopher Walken, and he was in the kids section, and he was reading nursery rhymes and telling fairy tales to children, and it sounded something like this. Good afternoon, children. I hope you're sitting comfortably. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. And a black widow spider was dangling children and landed on her shoulder and stung her. She's dead. Red Riding Hood went to Grandma's house and she said, Grandma, you look like a transvestite wolf. What happened here, children, is that Grandma was devoured by the wolf who was dressed as her. And the wolf said, Grandma's dead, honey. I ate her. She's a bowel movement. Jack and Jill went up the hill to catch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his neck. He's a quadriplegic. End of story.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night.